the children to browse through the toys and select a gift for their siblings. So, and no charge, of course. Really nice.
All right. So just wanted to make sure.
So bring him here anytime. We're open.
Thank you. I just want to make sure I mentioned that again. Okay, let's see. Things we can talk about in the news. After the election of Donald Trump, President Obama and the current Congress have just over 2 months to finish their work before a new administration and new Congress convene on Washington, bringing complete Republican control to the nation's capital. Obama will embark on his final scheduled foreign tour today, planning to visit Greece, Germany, and Peru to deal with a wide range of American issues abroad. Many of the concerns of Trump's supporters in the United States, anxiety about trade, terrorism, and immigration, are the same ones that have fueled a recent right-wing movement sweeping across Europe. Congress will also return from recess today to complete its month-long lame duck session. Among its top priorities will be reaching an agreement on a spending bill to fund the government through September 2017 before the current stopgap deal expires at midnight, December 9th. All right, I wanted to comment real quickly on the Republican government. I think if you're a Democrat, I know you're going to have some hard words for me after you hear what I'm about to say. But if you're a Democrat and you're concerned about the Republican government, you couldn't have a better Republican president than Donald Trump. Here's why. Because Donald Trump doesn't really fit the mold of what you would describe as a Republican. Some Republicans are now going to be angry with me for saying that. But anybody who's tried to figure out what is the definition of a Republican, what is the definition of a Democrat, will see that it's not always cut and dried. And Donald Trump, we don't know his policies because he's never held an office before. So that's part one. But we do know the things he said along the past year in his attempt to be the president. And many of the things he said, if you were paying attention, were very much things that are in line with the Democratic point of view. Okay. So I think if you had an extreme right man in the office or getting ready to go into the office, then you might be worried. But I think Donald Trump is not that way. The other part of this that I think is true is that he's a negotiator, and that means he persuades people to go along with what he believes. But it also means that he listens to what they believe. I truly think this. Now, this is the way he's run his life, his business. If you've paid attention to what he's done as a businessman, he has learned the art of the deal, to use his book title from years and years and years ago. And the art of the deal, I read the book, The Art of the Deal, with great interest. And in The Art of the Deal, among the things he shares with the readers is you have to be willing to give as well as being stubborn about what you should receive. And so that to me tells me that if he runs the government the way he ran business in this aspect, then the Democrats who are in the minority in Congress and in the Senate do have an ally in the White House. They do. It's not him against them. I really, truly believe that. So that's my opinion, and I don't know if you've thought about it that way, but I wanted to share that with you. So.
But that was one of the statements he made, too. He made that this is a government for everybody. And I just love that, because I believe once he takes the oath of office, he's going to encourage everybody there to forget about the D's and the R's and the I's and the, NP's behind their names, to just work together for the good of everybody instead of all of this garbage. Oh, the Democrats want this, the Republicans want that. I think he's going to dissuade people from doing that and just work for the good of the country. My opinion.
The 2016 Atlantic hurricane season is almost over. November 30th is the official end of that, but nature doesn't always care what we say. And there is a new storm developing in the southwestern Caribbean Sea. The National Hurricane Center says the broad area of low pressure has a 60% chance of forming into a hurricane over the next, or at least a tropical storm over the next 5 days. If it becomes a named storm, it will be named Otto.
Oh, okay. I like that name.
Yeah, that's the guy who does the
Otto.
the concealed arms classes over at Jerry's Point.
Exactly.
It's Otto.
Exactly. So go see Otto. Get your gun and get a concealed weapons permit. Trump allows it.
Let's see. An Ecuadorian prosecutor will question Julian Assange today about allegations of possible sex crimes committed in Sweden 6 years ago. Swedish officials say Assange will be interviewed today at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he's been holed up for more than 4 years.
Gosh.
Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi is part of the transition team for President-elect Donald Trump. Bondi was one of Trump's earliest supporters here in Florida, and she will be serving on the executive committee responsible for setting up the new administration.
Nice. She's a nice lady.
I've never talked to her. Have I? I don't remember talking to her.
I don't think we have, but everything that I've seen her involved with, she seems to be on point.
We will take a little break. The phone line is open, I should say. If you have a comment you want to make, you're invited to make it. We'll be right back. This is WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Monday, times of clouds and sun. There can be an afternoon shower in spots. Highs in the 70s. Monday night will be mostly cloudy. There can be a shower along the coast. Those ranging from the mid-40s to low 50s inland, where it will be partly cloudy, to the low 60s along the coast, where it will be mostly cloudy. For Tuesday, partly sunny, high 73 to 77. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 75 to 79. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Determine the Final Four for next week in Miami. I'm Joe Moore. This is the Monday Morning Race Refresher, brought to you by Coke. Open a Coke and enjoy the race.
Checkered flag for Tony Stewart.
We embarked on this journey in 1999.
Tony Stewart just has to keep it on the rails, and he's going home a winner.
We've shared a Coke together in victory lane what seems like countless times.
He's won the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championship.
Through championships and success, you've connected us with NASCAR fans all over the world. So here's to you, Smoke. It's been a great ride, and we're not finished yet. Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR.
6 drivers went into the race at Phoenix International Raceway yesterday, vying for 2 spots to join Carl Edwards and Jimmy Johnson in the Final Four showdown at Homestead Miami Speedway next weekend. At the finish, it was Joey Logano who won the race and advanced.
Man, it's such a fun race. That last restart was crazy. Knew it was going to be. There's a lot of different scenarios playing out. Knew the forwards back there at 18. Myself, it's crazy. Everyone's racing for a championship. This isn't just a race. This is for the championship. And, man, 22 cars going there, and we got a hell of a shot at it, and I couldn't be more proud of this team executing under pressure like there was today. There's no way you can put more pressure on this team.
Kyle Busch finished second, and that was enough for him to join in the Final Four. So it's Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. Kyle Larson finished yesterday in third. Fourth was Kevin Harvick, and fifth, Kurt Busch. Next week's race at Homestead. It's championship weekend. Again, the Final Four are Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. You'll hear it live next Sunday on MRN. That's the Monday Morning Race Refresher. I'm Joe Moore on the Motor Racing Network.
If you are hearing this message and wish to lose 50 pounds permanently, then write this phone number down. 352-633-0473. Dr. Juan Jordan's office in Lady Lake is offering the first 15 callers a free metabolism and body fat analysis with a comprehensive, in-depth fat-burning consultation. You have nothing to lose. Please call 352-633-0473.
12 minutes before 8 o'clock. It's overcast, and looks like it's going to be relatively cool. But I'd say the word mild probably applies to the weather today and throughout the week. And it looks like we've got good news for Saturday, and that's, of course, the day of Light Up Ocala. I love Light Up Ocala. Robin, what do you know about the ice skating rink? That's going to be there this year, right?
Yes, because they have set it up already. They've got the lights and everything set up.
And what do we know about the linear park? Is that done? No, that's not done yet, right?
No. No.
And what do
not
we
at
know
all.
about the parking garage? We can park in there this year, right?
That's what they say. That's what they say. When FAFO was on, and we had the representative from FAFO on, she said that the parking garage is open. And during the FAFO event, the whole first floor was reserved for handicap parking, and then the other floors, anybody could park there, and it was free during the FAFO event. Now, I don't know if it's going to be free all the time or, what it is, but there are reserved spaces in the parking garage. People can buy a reserved space for all year for a fee. I don't know what it is, but the city of Ocala is in charge of that, and so, So I assume since the parking garage was open for FAFO that it'll be open for Light Up Ocala.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have in the talking points this morning? Hold on, let me get to it. Let's see. I love this story. Trump dumps Christie over Bridgegate. Stupid thug had to go. That's the headline in the New York.
I love that.
In the New York
great.
Post. Stupid thug had to go. I'm not calling Christie a stupid thug. It's the language that I have to chuckle at. President-elect Donald Trump is finished with New Jersey Governor Chris Christie as news continues to come out about his handling of the Bridgegate scandal. Mm-hmm. The Post reports that Trump is so disgusted with Christie's management style, as revealed in a recent court case, that he's kicking the governor out of his inner circle. Some Trump aides regard the New Jersey governor as a stupid thug who really needed to go. That's according to somebody at the New York Post. Trump thought it was shameful that Christie didn't take the fall for convicted aide Bridget Kelly, a source close to the transition team told the Post. Well, if his aides stopped the traffic on the George Washington Bridge, mm-hmm. and he didn't know about it, mm-hmm. that's not good.
No.
And so therefore it tells you that he probably did know about it.
Exactly.
And we said this all along, by the way. So.
And there are other politicians that do the same thing.
No. Where?
No, other politicians will let their,
let somebody else take the fall
take
for
the
them.
fall for them. Yeah.
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 But the thing is this, that whole episode was like so stupid. I mean, you're basically getting the average man and woman who just wants to get to work.
Yes.
To put up with nonsense for
That's
some
right.
silly bickering between overpaid politicians.
Exactly.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry and Robin. It's Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, I wanted your comment, Larry, a couple minutes ago before the break about President Trump. Doesn't upset me. Matter of fact, it's exactly how I would think many of the open-minded people on the left would interpret the current circumstance. And I would say I think all Americans, regardless of who you voted for, all we have right now to go on is language and words, because there's really no policy. And one of the criticisms also from the left was that many of the emotionally charged rhetoric that Trump used, we on the left were always asking for more details. What do you mean, and how would you implement those policies? Just like the comment he made over the weekend about deporting people. Really, immigrations and customs already have their hands full. So we're not really, and that's not the point of my call. We're not going to really throw together an army of federal shock troops to hunt down people that we think are criminal in 30 days, and also be successful in deporting people. That's drama. And I would like to compliment you also on the comment just made about Governor Christie. It's also how we would look at that. So I think you represent your side quite diplomatically, and I try to represent my side quite diplomatically, other than calling you guys warmongers 10 or 15 years ago. But the point of my call, Larry, is I would just share with people, Donald Trump did mention something called draining the swamp quite often, and it sounds good. but it symbolizes to me whether I was 55 or 45 or 35, and especially you two guys in your early 60s, what really Americans are up against is privatization. And the concern we have, like for Social Security concerning your age, is if Social Security is handed over to a private corporation, you may be slated to receive $1,400 a month. By the time Wall Street gets done with you, you may end up getting, $400 a month. And the first couple of years might be swell, and it may maintain itself. But once Wall Street starts drawing the funds away from itself, so we are concerned when citizens don't have oversight of what's left of our public government, and we consider the political right as supporting all things privatized. Just like you guys were so good-hearted, you stood up against the privatization of the library, and we Americans are telling people, get out there, get to work, get a job, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and people go to the library to get jobs. But they have to pay $10 at the door to get in and $5 every 15 minutes to use the computer. Then it becomes counterproductive and not very helpful. So I thank you. I try to be honest. I know I did insult you guys. I have strong feelings about war, having lost Marines, personal friends. So that's all. I just want to again compliment you and remaining objective. And I think Donald Trump's going to run up against his own people, Larry, and the political persuasion of ExxonMobil and Big Tobacco and Big Pharmacy. And if he does stick up for the citizens of all people, like Robin said, if he sticks up for Americans against the corporations, but then the corporations will have to weigh with him.
It'll be interesting for sure. Yeah, good perspective. I appreciate the call, Mark. Thanks.
Thank you.
We had this discussion just the other day about the privatization of different things, and I'm pretty much on the same page as Mark regarding that stuff. I think a lot of the things that are public should remain public. There might be a few exceptions to that. Right now I'm drawing a blank. The police should remain public. The fire should remain public. The library should remain public. A lot of that. The privatization of the jails is a stupid idea.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is a stupid idea. How do you? Here's my thought on that one. If you privatize the jails, that means competition can exist, correct? Mm-hmm. So what do you do when you're a prisoner? Say, I don't like it here. I'm going to go to the other one. I'm going to take my business elsewhere. No, you don't have a choice.
That's right.
That's why I don't want privatization of jails. But good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry, Robin. The problem I have with this so-called Bridgegate thing is why they wait all these years to bring it up and all of a sudden they'll bring it to trial. That's my big question with that thing. Along with the fact that when it comes to certain political entities, they can just keep going along and doing what they're doing and never worry about an investigation. Oh, somebody's really making us stink? Well, we just whip out some money and pay them off, or they just never see the light of day. When I say that, as far as anything they have to say never gets published. The media takes care of these, as far as I'm concerned, liberal criminals, and we know who we're talking about. I don't know. To me, there's a double standard for everything, and that's the part that really stinks. As far as what goes on. I mean, referring to what Mark had said. Well, like I said, why'd they take over 2 years to prosecute Christie?
Yeah, that's always interesting, too, when political big shots seem to be treated with careful gloves more so than the average person. I know.
One other thing is, why is the Clinton Foundation allowed to continue? I mean, if you read about one thing after another with this, where we're taking funds out of the Clinton Foundation for political ads and purposes, and we're taking donations from people that have strictly one thing in mind, and some of the members of the foundations have very radical ties to various political groups.
Yeah, I know. It's as voters and onlookers, you see the corruption so clearly, And it just disgusts everybody that it's not treated in the same way that the average person. They say white privilege all the time. I think political privilege is more accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, have a good day.
Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate that. What else is in the news? President-elect Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana, wants to be the ambassador for her native Czech Republic.
Oh, okay.
Saying she's well known there and worldwide. She's ready to serve the United States there. I thought they changed the name to Czechia. Well, I'm confused.
They did.
Whatever. Former President George W. Bush is planning to release a book entitled Portraits of Courage. The book will feature his paintings of wounded veterans who served while he was in the White House. Bush said in a Facebook post over the weekend in honor of Veterans Day that over the past several months he has painted the portraits of 98 wounded warriors that he's gotten to know, remarkable men and women who were injured carrying out his orders. By the way, I saw some of the portraits. When he first started doing portraits, they were not that good. They looked amateur, but I think he's getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're starting to look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it interesting what happens to a person they get out of the office and what they do with their time? Jimmy Carter was a great example of that.
Yeah, he was, for sure. But that's like anything. I mean, in the beginning, when you try to do something, it's not as professional looking as it is when you practice.
It's true. All right, let's move forward. Galen Unold is up next. We're going to talk about probably some of these same things. And then the more important topic, which is comfort foods.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Anna Wells. President-elect Trump has a message for protesters around the country.
Don't be afraid.
Mr. Trump telling CBS's 60 Minutes he's saddened to hear some of his supporters have harassed minorities.
I will say this, and I'll say it right to the camera, stop it.
The Trump administration is beginning to take form. Mr. Trump has picked RNC Chair Reince Priebus as White House Chief of Staff and former campaign chief Steve Bannon as Chief Strategist. The founder of WikiLeaks will be questioned by Swedish prosecutors at Ecuador's London embassy today.
They'll be questioning him over allegations of rape in Sweden in 2010, allegations Assange has denied. Assange has been living at the embassy since 2012. He's refused to leave the embassy and go to Sweden out of fears he'll be extradited to the U.S. for espionage charges. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Fox News, we report, you decide.
On the next episode of Recipes for Disaster.
So we've got our neighbor Paul coming over tonight for a barbecue, which is why I prepared a delicious lemon rosemary steak marinade from my special collection of old family recipes. To make sure the steaks are extra tender, I left them marinating out on the counter overnight, just like Nana used to.
Maria may mean well, but without food safety, it never ends well. Always thaw or marinate foods in the refrigerator at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below, or you could make your friends and family really sick. Maria's neighbor Paul didn't think twice about the steak he ate until he was presenting his company's financial forecast to the board. That's when a sudden bout of food poisoning made it explicitly clear that profits weren't the only thing on the rise. Watch Recipes for Disaster at foodsafety.gov. You'll learn the right steps as Maria does everything wrong. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around: death, taxes, the pursuit of happiness, and computers. As they continue to advance at an epic pace, the one absolute certainty about them is that they'll break. It's not an if, it's a when. And when it happens, bring it to the only company in Ocala that's certified in Apple and Microsoft, Ocala Mac and PC Repair. They even offer on-site computer repair service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
All right, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Oh, no, it's not such a beautiful day. It's overcast. It's an overcast day. It is the 14th day of November, though, and it looks like cool temperatures, mild conditions, I guess you would say. People are starting to post on Facebook. I know Galen loves Facebook. Pictures of turkey. People are already posting pictures of turkeys. I mean, cooked turkeys, ready to go. Like they're looking for, what is it, a week from Thursday?
Yep.
This Thanksgiving?
Yep.
Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Good. Where are you right now?
Just about to get on 75.
Yeah. You know, I've sort of unrelated to anything else kind of a question. Yesterday we went to visit Doug. He's still in an assisted living place. He's rehab is what he's doing there. Yep. So he's not really living there. But anyway, we were outside with them drinking sodas and just talking. And a guy comes rolling out in a wheelchair. And he's calling, there's some cats that live there. So the old man is calling some cats.
Yep.
And I hear his voice, and I recognize the voice. I say, oh my gosh, where do I know this guy from? Mm-hmm. I look at him. I cannot figure it out. And then he says his name is O'Brien. Mm-hmm. And I say, oh my gosh, do you remember me? And he says, no. I said, look at me. Tell me if you know me. Yeah. And they said, oh, from the radio station.
Yeah.
This guy used to come on. He's a veteran. He used to come. He's a Marine.
Yep.
And he used to come on the show, on the veteran show years ago, and sing. He would be just sing in the studio.
Yeah.
He did like karaoke live. It was
great.
It was the greatest thing. So anyway, it's kind of funny how sometimes you bump into somebody you know them, but you can't figure out where you know them from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in his case, it was the voice.
Yeah, it's out of context. Yeah, it's out of context.
Yeah.
But
the voice is interesting because that's all we are on radio is voices. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of funny. Do you ever get that? Does anybody ever say, "Wait a minute, where do I know your voice from?" Or does that ever happen?
Yeah, it does. But I mean, once people know my name, then they'll kind of figure it out sometimes, just because I have a pretty unique name. So people remember me. I have a name that very few people forget. Once they know it, it's not. They only know one Galen most of the time.
Isn't it interesting, though, how we all have different voices? I mean, just like it's kind of weird that we have the same. We have different faces. I mean, the 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. How different could it be? But God figured out a way. Unless you have a twin or a doppelganger.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's amazing, and it's amazing too how we can differentiate. You know, if you ever know any twins, like if you don't know them, then they look the same to you. But if you do know them, you know who's who, right?
Right.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let me go to the phone. I didn't even have any topic yet. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Thanksgiving topic. I recommend a movie for those of you that troll Netflix, The Plymouth Adventure, which is Spencer Tracy and Van Johnson and Gene Tierney.
Okay.
And it's about the voyage of the Mayflower from England to Plymouth. It's got some Hollywood in it, but amazingly factual.
Thank you, Jim. I don't know if I'm more like Lucy or Charlie Brown with the football. Every year this time of year, because every year this time of year I say, you know what, I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start watching these old holiday films. And then January 3rd, Galen will say, did you watch any of them? So it's like Lucy with the football. Thank you.
I heartily recommend it.
All right, The Plymouth Adventure.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to look it up. All right.
Have a good day.
I had a Chevrolet Adventure one time.
I bet it was fun. Steaming those windows.
All right. Again, any sports news we need to know about?
Not really. I mean, just it was a bunch of upsets in college football on Saturday, and NFL yesterday. Decent games. Green Bay Packers aren't very good.
No, they're not.
Patriots lost. Cowboys won. No. No.
Is the NFL more political as far as the sitting and standing issue than the other sports are?
Well, for example, basketball, they put in a rule in the NBA that you had to stand for the national anthem because this was an issue, 10 or 15 years ago when there were a couple of players who had become Muslims, and part of what they kept saying is their belief is they're not allowed to stand for any flag or anything like that. So, and they would turn away from the flag and stuff like that. So the NBA actually put in exactly what you're supposed to do during the national anthem.
Oh, really? So, but that doesn't exist.
Yeah, because I heard somebody's not standing now, and Colin Kaepernick's standing again, but somebody else isn't standing because Donald Trump won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just them with their babies. I hate that.
Well, just think of it this way, and he's a black guy, so if a white dude didn't stand because Obama was the president, he would have been immediately ejected from the league, and if you say that to me, they're like, yeah, that's right. So it's just such a double standard. I think I think the citizens are really getting upset about it. I watched some coverage of the protests, and the difference between the way CNN covered it and the way Fox News covered it, I thought after the election that they would become a little closer together, and if anything, they're more apart than they've ever been. You just cannot get a news source where you can just watch the news, unless you're going to watch, I guess, at 6 o'clock on every day of the week, which just doesn't work for my schedule. So it's really, really hard to get any kind of information without this huge slant one way or the other.
Well, you used to be able to depend on newspapers.
Yeah.
TV and radio had a way of being very slanted, especially because TV and radio, TV, you've got the face and the voice that can sometimes, communicate an opinion that's unspoken.
Mm-hmm.
And in radio, you have the voice. The way you say something can affect you. But in newspaper with print, you used to be able to, but not anymore. They word things now so that everything has got an opinion embedded in it. Yeah.
Right.
And if you look at all the newspapers, they're almost, I think 80% of all the newspapers are owned by 3 companies.
That's a problem.
And so you're not getting any real diversity. You're not getting what made the newspaper industry great was the competition for that headline, for that news story. That's gone. When the New York Post is leading the charge on some of these investigations during a political debate, that's a problem. Ahead of the New York Times, it's sad. It's really, really sad.
The New York Times, let's see, the publisher Arthur Sulzberger Jr. says, "I promise to rededicate ourselves to the newspaper's standards of reporting news honestly." He says because it demonized Trump from start to finish, it failed to realize that he was on to something. And because the paper decides that Trump supporters were a rabble of racist rednecks and homophobes, it didn't have a clue about what was happening in the lives of the Americans who elected the new president. So he's basically admitting that they were biased coverage.
Oh, yeah, I think it's undeniable. And it wasn't just in their op-eds, because I think anybody can look at the op-eds.
Op-eds are different. That's a different place, right?
Absolutely right. But what they did is the entire newspaper made it their job to try to bring this president down, and I think it actually backfired.
And how does
they
that
lost readers, and all it did was embolden the base of Donald Trump.
And that trickles down to the smaller papers that are owned by the New York Times.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Because the majority of their political news comes from that one source. Because the reason they're all one newspaper is because there's no money left in newspapers, and they're trying to, streamline it as much as possible.
Yeah, and you would like to think that your local newspaper wasn't doing that, and you have to And I'm not talking about the op-ed page. The op-ed page is different.
Yes, it is.
But if you look at the headlines sometimes, and you see the way they wrote about Chris Blair, or you see the way they wrote about, I picked Chris Blair just at random there, but I'm trying to think of who else.
Bad example.
Or Randy. What was your last name again? Randy. County commissioner.
Gee, my mind's a blank now. I can see his
Oh my gosh, how did we forget his name?
I know.
But anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
know.
And they do it all the time. And they do it with issues too. They did it with the baseball park.
Yeah.
The Yankees baseball park.
Yeah, they killed it. Yeah. But again, when we're talking about the national level, because there's only a handful of people that can get into the press room. And so now what's happening is you've got these very slanted, websites like Breitbart or the Huffington Post that now have a seat at that table. And I think all it's going to do is just turn more and more of this bipartisanship. Partisanship. Yeah, yeah. And it's going to separate us. I think it's going to get worse. So we'll see. And nothing's going to change it. All this, we need to, it's like Saturday Night Live. What happened to being funny, Saturday Night Live? I mean, you have so many jokes worked right. Brutal this Saturday.
Well, it's hard. It's
Randy Harris.
It's brutal.
Thank you, Randy Harris. Yeah, well, I think it's hard for for the late night comedians who are trying to be fair about being funny and picking on both sides. It's easy to see. It was easy to see with Letterman.
Mm-hmm.
It was not so easy to see with Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was good about making sure that everybody got picked on a little bit,
Yeah.
And I can't really.
You're allowed to pick on the president. I think you're open game. I have no problem with that. That's part of their job. It just has to be funny.
Yeah.
That's my rule.
Oh yeah, yeah. Comedy is the bottom line there. All right. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. The name that you were trying to think of was Randy Harris.
Thank you. Yes.
And no question about it, the Ocala Star-Banner did not like him.
Right.
And the Ocala Star-Banner did not like Don Green either.
Right.
Well, there are
and it
issues
wasn't
with
just
him.
in the op-ed pieces, which we're okay with that. It's in the news. Absolutely, yes.
And the other thing that the Ocala Star-Banner killed was the Walmart distribution center.
Okay.
Well, the county commissioners too killed that. They didn't.
Yeah, but the paper was save our horse farms, blah, blah. And, the owner of the horse farm wanted to sell.
Yep.
And they decried the urban sprawl, and so they, for some reason they fixated on the Walmart distribution center. And what did the owner of the horse farm do? He sold to a developer.
That's right.
Duh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And lost 500 jobs.
Didn't save the horse farm another time, did they?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. See, the phone is
all right, have a good day.
Ringing now. Gosh, the phone is ringing now. Okay. Let me do a few of these. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Hey.
See, the guy that cuts my lawn also works for the Star Banner, and in conversation with him a while back, I asked him, I said, how many subscriptions do they have? They were around 50,000. They're down to 14,000 subscribers right now. And I tell you, that paper is just about ready to go out.
Oh, wow. That's hard to believe.
Is
wow.
that the paper part, or does that also include the online subscribers?
No, that's just the newspapers. He said they're down to about 14,000 people right now, and it was 50 a few years back, but they just keep dropping and dropping. And I guess it changed ownership from somebody from out of state, I think, owns the paper. Now, I'm not sure about that, but all I know is he says they're really hanging on the thread over there, and he says he's thinking he's going to be losing his job pretty soon.
Oh, I hate that. I love newspapers, but I guess that's the way of the times.
Do you subscribe?
Who? Hugh?
The Star Banner.
Does Hugh subscribe to the Star Banner?
No, do you?
Oh, do I? No, I do not. No, I do not.
I will buy it from the convenience store.
I used to, but I dropped it because the program that Larry and Robin have, News Bites, helped quite a bit. So I'm getting most of my stuff on the radio station here.
There you go. There you go.
See, and that's the point.
Yeah, thank you, Hugh.
I mean, if you truly love newspapers, then you have to have a subscription to it.
Okay, that's fair. Fair to
You
say.
can do that online. You can visit them 3 times, and then they lock you out unless you have a subscription online.
Right. So you can subscribe online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll buy it occasionally from time to time, especially on Thursdays.
I mean, we have a little bit different circumstance here. I mean, we have resources, so we get the news, but
yeah.
But everybody's got those same resources.
Right.
And I'll give you an example. So back in the day, we used to go in, and when I would hang out with my dad at the station, and they had the teletype, right? They had the AP wire.
Right.
It would sit there and type out the story as it was coming out, and my dad would sit there and read it, and I would get the sports scores because it would be fresher than it was in the newspaper because you could get the West Coast scores.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching that and reading it, going, "Oh, that is so cool." Now, if I want to know something, I can find it in the click of a switch. The issue is where that information comes from, where it's derived, is becoming slanted because the journalism in itself is going away because the only way you're going to be able to sustain it is if you make it interesting. And the way they make it interesting and make it clickbait, for lack of a better term, is they slant it in one direction or the other. There's nothing easier to get readers to click on your story than to say Donald Trump is Hitler. Because if you hate Donald Trump, you're going to read it. If you love Donald Trump, you're going to read it. And that's where we are in society.
Yep, that's it.
That's where we're at. Good, bad, or indifferent.
That is really
people are looking to be entertained.
That's really
and they only want their point of view. And
if I can give you an example, I didn't use this story because I could tell that this is I don't know what this is, but if you just look at the numbers from CNN, the Electoral College and the popular vote numbers on CNN, and you go to Wikipedia, they're contradicting each other. CNN shows that Hillary had the popular vote. Wikipedia shows that Donald Trump had the popular vote.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. Over the weekend they were talking about it on CNN, and CNN was like, "Well, we're just making sure that all of this stuff is 100% accurate." And so we are waiting for the final update before we change our numbers.
Uh-huh.
And what's sad about that is that's part of what is fueling these protests. And, and CNN constantly showing the protests and only interviewing the protesters. And, you got Van Jones on there, who is a martyr for Obama, for the president. is and was a former, whatever. He had some kind of a role there. Just is on there going, this is the right thing. These people need to get out there and exercise their right to protest. This is wrong. That doesn't help anything. How does that help?
No, it's a done deal.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, I was listening to what Galen was just saying, and I've been watching Fox, and Fox hardly ever has that protest on now. More like they're saying is that you have a right to protest, but you don't have a right to damage property, and you're all a bunch of crybabies. Well, not all of them are, some are serious. But, and then you turn over to CNN, and they show the streets crowded with people, and the people that are crowded in the streets were 2 days ago, and, they keep showing the same thing over and over and over again just to rile up people, and it's ridiculous, and it's sad. I originally was calling because of the newspaper. We've had the newspaper for years and years and years. It got to the point in the morning I just read my horoscope. I wouldn't read anything else in it. For over almost $400 a year, it's absolutely nuts. So we did get rid of the paper, and I know Huey always liked it because he's of that era that really loves hard copy, and to hold it in your hands, but now he just says in the morning, look this up on your phone and tell me what's going on. So, and then, for this morning I put 60-minute interview of Trump on the phone. I mean, you can get so much information at your fingertips. And somebody else told me a tip, and I hope the Star Banner don't get mad at me, but if you clear your browser, you can watch them all. You can just read your articles all the time. But as long as you've
Star Banner will get mad at you.
Cleared, they know how many times you've been there.
The Star Banner won't
your
get
browser. You can get back on.
Right. The Star Banner won't be mad at you for saying that. Everybody who's been doing that is now mad at you for saying that.
I think the Star Banner knows we know it. But anyway, somebody gave me that tip not long ago.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
And now the Star Banner is going to do something to stop that. So yeah. So thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. No, that's not true. That was just a rumor. You guys take care.
It's too funny. The other day we were at a ribbon cutting celebration, Galen, and by the way, Tom James was there. Tom James was the CEP guy.
Yeah, he's the head of the CEP there.
So anyway, but the guy playing the piano at the event did not have sheet music. He had a tablet.
Yep. He did right there.
He was using music on a tablet. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was very cool.
All right, I know everybody wants to say something about this, but we have to take a break. We have to make sure we acknowledge our sponsors, and we have to talk to Galen about comfort foods.
Yes, we do.
Just the way my contract reads. Galen, how is the blood supply right now?
We're okay. We have right at about a 5-day blood supply. We're starting to come backwards a little bit, which isn't good. Right before Thanksgiving, we really need platelets for need for platelets. So if you're a platelet donor, give us a call, 622-3544. And if you're not a platelet donor, then you should be. Go to LifeSouth.org. There's a lot of information about it, and call us. We'll talk to you about it and see if it's something that you can do.
And when I passed LifeSouth last night coming home, I saw that on the marquee. It said, "Thank you, veterans, for your service."
Yeah.
Palm Garden of Ocala, thank you for sponsoring this segment. You guys are awesome and such a beautiful facility. For those of you who've ever been there, you know that already. For those who've never been there, go take a tour. You'll see for yourself. Palm Garden has professionals, skilled nursing. The culinary staff is outstanding. The activity staff is outstanding. Of course, all of the hands-on workers, the ladies and gentlemen who take care of the people, the therapists and the aides, I guess they call them, right? They're all there for your betterment. And go to the location, 2700 Southwest 34th Street. Penn Flooring, thank you for sponsoring Galen, Unold, and LifeSouth. They are at 1201 Southwest 17th Street. Go check out the samples they have so you can have a more attractive floor. Remodel your home from the floor up. That was one of the big things they did over at this facility we went to, was the floor. So we will take a little break and be right back with Galen. I do have an important topic. It's called comfort foods when we come back.
This is Jan Marino from Palm Garden of Ocala. At Thanksgiving, more than ever, our thoughts turn gratefully to those who have made our progress possible. And in this spirit, we say, from Jennifer McCullough, the Executive Director, and the rest of our staff, simply but sincerely, thank you, and best wishes for a happy Thanksgiving.
You
have that drip coming down from the corner of the room, but where did it start from?
Bone Dry Roofing can and will fix it right the first time using quality materials and will deal honestly and fairly with you, period. You can find Bone Dry Roofing on their website, bonedryroofingllc.com, and Facebook at Bone Dry Roofing LLC. Do it right before your roof needs a tarp to keep the elements out. Bone Dry Roofing stands behind their work to help make your home safe and secure, plus they have financing available. Remember, if you're not bone dry, then you're all wet.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 28 minutes after 8 o'clock, Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth. Thank you, Galen, for reminding us that donating blood is our responsibility. If we don't do that, then there is no blood supply. There is no alternative. All right, so the most important topic of the day has nothing to do with politics or blood. It's got to do with comfort foods. Galen, what do you think about this thought? Do you agree with this, that on Thanksgiving Day, turkey is not a comfort food, but the day after, the leftover turkey is a comfort food? Do you agree with that distinguishing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, on Friday, there's nothing as good as a turkey sandwich. I'm sorry. It's just, I love it. I love it. My wife will make another turkey if we go somewhere else, just so we can have leftovers.
Just so you can have leftovers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
So of all of the comfort foods I have here, I have chocolate, I have burritos, spaghetti, fried chicken, pizza, even wine is considered a comfort food.
Yeah.
But turkey is the most interesting one because
Turkey is great.
Because it's not a comfort food until the day after.
That's right.
Well, the tryptophan will make you go to sleep.
Which is okay. We're okay with going to sleep.
That's right.
But isn't that a comfort, though?
That's a comfort, yes. That's a great comfort.
So that's why I think it's a comfort food.
All right, 10 seconds. Where's the Bloodmobile?
Bloodmobile today, we're actually at Lady Lake. We're at the Lowe's in Lady Lake.
All right. That's where Carol Ann is.
Yep.
Our gardening lady. All right, thank you, Galen. Have a great day.
All right, bye, all.
Fox News Radio, I'm Anna Wells. President-elect Trump has a message for protesters around the country.
Don't be afraid.
Mr. Trump telling CBS's 60 Minutes he's saddened to hear some of his supporters have harassed minorities.
I will say this, and I'll say it right to the camera, stop it.
The Trump administration is beginning to take form. Mr. Trump has picked RNC Chair Reince Priebus as White House Chief of Staff and former campaign chief Steve Bannon as Chief Strategist. The founder of WikiLeaks will be questioned by Swedish prosecutors at Ecuador's London embassy today.
They'll be questioning him over allegations of rape in Sweden in 2010, allegations Assange has denied. Assange has been living at the embassy since 2012. He's refused to leave the embassy and go to Sweden out of fears he'll be extradited to the U.S. for espionage charges. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Fox News, we report, you decide.
On the next episode of Recipes for Disaster.
So we've got our neighbor Paul coming over tonight for a barbecue, which is why I prepared a delicious lemon rosemary steak marinade from my special collection of old family recipes. To make sure the steaks are extra tender, I left them marinating out on the counter overnight, just like Nana used to.
Maria may mean well, but without food safety, it never ends well. Always thaw or marinate foods in the refrigerator at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below, or you could make your friends and family really sick. Maria's neighbor Paul didn't think twice about the steak he ate until he was presenting his company's financial forecast to the board. That's when a sudden bout of food poisoning made it explicitly clear that profits weren't the only thing on the rise. Watch Recipes for Disaster at foodsafety.gov. You'll learn the right steps as Maria does everything wrong. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Howdy, folks. For over 4 decades, we at Dairy Queen have been proud to serve our customers with the finest and freshest cook-to-order, quick-service comfort foods in the world. For instance, our new Philly steak and cheese sandwiches with grilled peppers and onions on an artisan focaccia bread bun. So steaming hot and yummy, you won't believe it. We also added seasoned potato skins filled with queso cheese and bacon. Wow, they're tasty. So come on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Beethoven was extremely particular about his coffee. He insisted each cup be made with exactly 60 beans. There's a new smart pepper spray. It's called the Defender, and it not only shoots a disabling spray at an attacker, it takes a picture of them in the process. So moms-to-be and friends of moms-to-be, if you want your cheese fix, experts say stick with pasteurized cheese only.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, this is Matt Wilkerson with Verizon. Do you have teenage drivers or elderly parents that drive? I have what you need. It's the new Hum device by Verizon. Plugs directly into your car and sends alerts to your cell phone on the location, speed, and driving habits. And you set boundary alerts. You can call and speak live with an ASC certified mechanic. And if you have an accident and can't respond, Hum will automatically send for help. All this and more for just $10 a month. And if you're in Marion County, I'll even deliver and set it up for free. Call me 352-528-0020.
FlySanford.com. Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better.
Visiting friends and family or just looking for some fun? Book your vacation now to one of their nonstop destinations, including Amsterdam, Brussels, Mexico City, San Juan, as well as over 70 domestic destinations, including New Orleans.
For enjoyable travel, come to Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are FB. Simpler, faster, better. Before you fly, FlySanford.com.
We all know the importance of good health, but we may not know the latest advances in medicine that are available to us. Monday at 9 a.m., Bern Paraiso will be our roving medical reporter to tell us about Seven Hill Gastroenterology PA and Dr. Reddy. We'll discuss screening, techniques, and more. So tune in and listen. This is more than news you can use. It's news that could save your life. That's Monday at 9:05 a.m.
Are you a list maker? Got your day planner laid out to structure your day? Well, here's something to add to your list. Make time for something really important. Visit Highland Memorial Park, because how you prepare for that moment is so important. Why Highland? Sure, it's a beautiful place, but aside from the beauty and the quiet reflection, practical people will appreciate the many options. Take a tour and make some serious plans. The Highland staff will confidentially show you all options and payment plans. Call today, 369-1020. Highland Memorial Park. Peace and reflection for your family.
Ocala's